Hello, welcome to Line for Line. Welcome back with your host, Josiah Salina. Listen, last week's show, or I should say the last show that we did, went so well with Mary that we just had to do another one. She absolutely set the standard for how to give the right synopsis within a half-hour setting. We are going to do today the 2007 Grammy nominees against the Dove nominees of the same year. This is also going to be another various artists one, where each round is going to be a different artist against each other. And how are you feeling about today's competition, Mary?
Oh, I'm excited. This is going to be a great matchup. I think it's nice to have different artists going against each other in a category like this. I'm excited for the format and see how this works out. And
this is definitely going to justify or clarify if the standards of what we see as great music can match up with what the Grammys see as great music.
Absolutely.
So here we go. We are going to get into round one. Holy is the Lord by Chris Tomlin.
Earth is filled with His glory. The earth is filled with His glory. We stand and lift our hands, for the joy of the Lord is our strength. We bow down and worship Him now. How great, how awesome is He, and together we sing. Everyone sing. Holy is the Lord God Almighty. The earth is filled with His glory. Holy is the Lord God Almighty.
All right, that was Holy is the Lord by Chris Tomlin against You're Beautiful by James Blunt.
It's true. I saw your face in a crowded place, and I don't know what to do, 'cause I'll never be with you. Yes, she caught my eye as we walked on by. She could see from my face that I was flying high, and I don't think that I'll see her again, but we shared a moment that will last till the end. You're beautiful. You're beautiful.
All right, that was You're Beautiful by James Blunt against Holy is the Lord by Chris Tomlin. Well, before I get on the wheel of James Bluntness, why don't you start, Mary?
Well, I thought that it was an interesting first song to start with, because Holy is the Lord is obviously a song I'm very familiar with. We hear it on the Z, we hear it in church.
Yeah.
And one of the criticisms, I guess, of praise and worship, I don't know if I call it a criticism, it's sort of idiomatic to it, is that there's a lot of repetition.
Right.
You know, you've got chorus, you've got verse. And so to put that up against a secular song almost seemed a little unfair, but James Blunt, could I be more blunt? That was it was even more repetitious and just didn't cut it for me. Bless his heart, he's trying to do high notes, in my opinion, that are out of his range. That falsetto is just not working for me at all. We were just getting to the chorus, which I have heard the chorus before, probably on a commercial or something. And even that is pretty repetitious, although it at least brings it down to something that's a little more memorable and a little more pleasant to listen to, I'll say. So Chris Tomlin takes it for me in round one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to have to... This might sound strange, but I actually may go toss-up. I'm
Really?
surprising myself. Let me see how I can justify my reasons. First of all, Chris Tomlin. Can I just say, probably one of the greatest praise and worship writers of all time.
Absolutely.
I'm putting him right up there with Matt Redman, Darlene Zschech, Israel Houghton, all the greats, Don Moen, the list goes on. But Holy is the Lord is a globally known song, as for almost any Chris Tomlin single becomes globally known. Now You're Beautiful by James Blunt. I remember hearing that song, a friend of mine, it was Richard Else. I was over there and got to meet his brother. And they had that song playing on his computer. Mm-hmm. And Richard's brother was like telling me, Josiah, this song is just so depressing to me. Like why would you write a song about seeing a girl in the middle of a crowd and then thinking the rest of your life, I could never be with her? Like, I mean...
Isn't that what all guys think, though?
It is.
It is a universal concept, and we write songs based on universal concepts.
It is true, because, I mean, like you said, every boy has that fantasy girl that they feel they'll never be with because they're the life of the party or the most popular one. But I think the ultimate thing there is James Blunt should also put a bit of resolution to the inferiority instead of just seeing the superiority and saying, okay, I'm just going to be depressed for the rest of my life because I can't be with this girl. But anyhow, now on to the James Bluntness. That is a style of singing only James Blunt can do, which can either be pleasant to the ears or annoyingly humorous to the ears. So
I caught your giggles.
Like you said, trying to hit notes that probably are out of his register, but his attempts, I must say, are pretty entertaining. So for entertaining me with that James Bluntness, I'll go a toss-up because of the feeling I was getting for both songs. But anyway, Chris Tomlin won that round. My toss-up doesn't matter.
I don't know why you chose these two against each other, but just one other thing I noticed in it is they both had the little guitar.
That's another thing I was going to point out.
Passages. So that was another thing to compare with them. That was
exactly. Nice. And I tend to prefer the guitar notes and plucking a little bit more on the James Blunt song.
I would agree.
Yeah.
In fact, with Chris, and I hadn't thought of this before, but maybe that's something that comes with multiple listens.
Yeah.
Is his guitar was on a part where he's talking about everyone sing, and then he's doing guitar, everyone sing, and I'm like, would this have been more effective with a choral in here or something instead of guitar?
That's a very interesting point. Wow.
I mean, everyone comes in and sings on the chorus,
yeah.
But should we have brought in kind of an thing instead of that guitar thing?
Wow, that's interesting.
So just an arranging note I thought of this time through hearing it.
That's a good arrangement observation there. All right, we're going to get into round...
Hopefully some church will try it sometime and we'll see what really works. Or maybe Chris will listen and he'll pick up on it and rearrange the song.
Either that or maybe you can arrange it one day. We'll see. All right, here we go. This is going to be round 2. Team Kingdom is up 1-0. All right, You Can Close Your Eyes by Sheryl Crow.
So I must still be spinning around. I still love you. So close your eyes. You can't close your eyes. It's alright. I don't know no love songs. I can't sing the blues anymore. I can't sing this song, and you can't sing this song when I'm gone. It won't be long before another day, and we're gonna have a good time. No one's gonna take that time away.
Alright, that was You Can Close Your Eyes by Sheryl Crow against Cut by Plum.
I know you see me seem crazy, painfully shy. And these scars wouldn't be so hidden if you would just look me in the eye.
Alright, that was Cut by Plum against You Can Close Your Eyes by Sheryl Crow. Definitely a lot more darker song than the Sheryl Crow, but we're dealing with a lot of unique voices in this round.
Mm-hmm.
Very distinctive and definitely hard to duplicate type of voices.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, Evanescence claims that she got, I think I heard a story a long time ago, that she got influence from Plum's voice.
Really?
And when you hear her sing, you can tell that that Plum sound is there. Now, dealing topic-wise, I wasn't really getting the storyline of Sheryl Crow's song. I don't know if you noticed anything. But,
well, the line that caught me was that you can sing the song when I'm gone. So it sounded like a really depressing kind of thing, and maybe she's dying or something, and that the time to sing the song will be when she's gone.
Like a goodbye song.
Yeah.
Oh, a departure song. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, so we're almost in the same realm of darker tone lyrically.
I thought it was an amazing matchup, and even where you cued in the songs together, it was like, wow.
Yeah.
I don't think we could get two closer songs to compare here.
Okay. Now with Cut, again, that deals with basically a cutter telling her story. And then by the end of the song, I guess the slight resolve she comes to in the bridge is, I am not alone.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, the purpose, Plum explains why she wrote that song, is most cutters tend to think they're the only one dealing with their pain or depression. If they could only know that they are not the only ones that have cut themselves before, and there are people out there that have been relieved and healed from that pain, then they could finally get out of that depressive state. But that song, if that doesn't get you in the world that some cutters have themselves into, tone-wise, atmosphere-wise, and lyrically, I don't know what does.
Well, and I think you nailed it there, and again, we're back to the idea of prosody, of everything fitting. That song gripped me from the moment I started hearing it. I was in that place. It took me to that dark world.
Yeah.
And the voice, like you said, the vocals,
unbelievable.
I was amazed. I would definitely give the edge vocally to Plum over Sheryl Crow.
100% agree.
And Cheryl's song, although and both of them had kind of that little repetitious thing going. Cheryl's didn't seem to get where it needed to go to me. It almost had a little more of a upbeat, poppy rhythm going to it.
Yeah.
And if that's the idea of, well, buck up, cheer up, you'll sing this song when I'm gone, then maybe that was intentional and it's that way.
Right.
But it didn't take me to the same place. I was almost on the toss-up with this, but I think by just the hair's breadth, I would give it to Plum.
Yeah. And for me, I think not even by a hair's breadth, that Cut song grabbed me like 10 times more for me than the Sheryl Crow song. So I'm also going to go with Plum. So wow, the Dubs are getting up there, 2-0.
Dubs are flying.
Yeah, we're going to get into round 3. This is Work by Jars of Clay.
Just in case, I will leave my things packed so I can run away. I cannot trust these voices. I don't have a line of prospects that can give some kind of peace. There is nothing left to cling to that can bring me sweet release. I have no fear of drowning. It's the breathing. It's taking all this work. Do you know what I mean when I say
was Work by Jars of Clay against Is It Any Wonder by Kiane.
I knew I'd always have the right to be living in the kingdom of the good and true. It's so on, but now I think I was wrong, and you were laughing along, and now I look forward thinking you were wrong. My side, is it any wonder I'm tired? Is it any wonder that I feel uptight? Is it any wonder I don't know what's right? Sometimes it's hard to know where I stand. It's hard to know where I am. Well, maybe it's a puzzle I don't understand. Sometimes I get the feeling that I'm stranded in.
Alright, that was Is It Any Wonder by Kiane against Work by Jars of Clay. You have the floor first, Mary.
Well, again, let me congratulate you on an extremely close matchup here. Stylistically, everything. This is a really good head-to-head match. Of those two songs, I'll be honest, the Jars of Clay song, I was listening to it, the titles Work, and I'm listening through saying, what does this have to do with this song?
Right.
You know, one of the rules of songwriting, although there aren't any rules, just suggestions.
Yeah.
You know, but rule number one, there are rules, but there are some strong guidelines, and one of them is that your title should be your hook. It should be catchy, and it was kind of buried in that song. I was really trying to find the relevance all the way through that song. That message, it just didn't grab me. And then the next song came in, and it was kind of the same idea in some ways, but Is It Any Wonder was really prevalent in the chorus. It kicked off. On this one, for that reason, I'm going to give it to Is It Any Wonder.
I found those two songs very interesting in their progression. I also found them very creative. These are definitely very melancholic tone songs. It takes either the whole idea of the song or careful listening to see where they're going with the lyrics and stuff. Now, Is It Any Wonder for some reason does not grab me as much as Work does. I think Work had the right build and production to it. I like the drop in the chorus before it gets back to the hard guitars. And basically the essence of Work, from me hearing it quite a few times, the essence behind it is sometimes there's more work to living than actually dying or drowning in your fears. So sometimes it feels like dying and drowning in your fears is the easier way to go than trying to find reasons to live. So it's basically harder work to breathe sometimes than it is to just let go of the breath. So, but the thing is...
Which is a powerful message.
It is.
And one that's needed, but I didn't catch that at all.
Right.
From a first listening of the amount I heard, I wouldn't have caught that.
Right, and it never really reaches a resolution. It's more like just dealing with the fact of, am I alone in this? Am I the only one that thinks it's harder to live than it is to die? But I did appreciate the artistry more of Jars of Clay there than I did on Kiane's track. So I'm going to give that to Jars of Clay. So that's a tie, which leaves us again with a toss-up. So Team Kingdom is still 2. Team Mainstream is still 0. We're going to get into the final 2 rounds now. This is Stick With You by the Pussycat Dolls.
I got a good thing right here. That's why I say, hey, nobody gonna love me better. I must stick with you forever. Nobody gonna take me higher. I must stick with you. You know how to appreciate me. I must stick with you, my baby. Nobody ever made me feel this way. I must stick with you. I don't wanna go another day, so I'm telling you exactly what is on my mind. See the way we ride in our private lives, ain't nobody getting in between. I want you to know that you're the only one for what I say. Nobody gonna love me better. I must stick with you forever. Nobody gonna take me higher. I must stick.
Alright, that was Stick With You by the Pussycat Dolls against Imagine Me by Kirk Franklin.
I imagine me in a place of no insecurities, and I'm finally happy 'cause I imagine me letting go of all of the ones who hurt me, 'cause they never did deserve me. Can you imagine me saying no to thoughts that try to control me, remembering all you told me? Lord, can you imagine me over what my mama said, even what my daddy did? And I wanna live and not read that page again. Imagine me being free, trusting you totally. Finally, I can.
Alright, that was Imagine Me by Kirk Franklin against Stick With You by the Pussycat Dolls. Those are definitely in the urban tone. I like the lighter feel as opposed to more heavy click clacks on the beats, but you still feel the light groove. And I like the melody very, very much. Stick With You felt more like a simple love song, just simple dedication, simple commitment, and it's kind of a lost art in mainstream songs currently. Reason why I say this is because I talked on the phone recently with Joe, and I said, "Don't you notice how few mainstream radio hits now actually mention the words 'I love you' or even mention love?" Like, I was reading in the Bible, in the Message version, one of Paul's letters, and it was saying that it's a generation of all lust, no love.
Mm.
And it seems like most of mainstream hits now in the pop genre or top 40 genre, they describe lust in their lyrics more than they actually do long-term committed to love. And
Interesting.
I've found that that's kind of a lost art as of late. Not that love is non-existent, because there's still a lot of it in the mainstream culture, but it's just more and more less. They're tending to focus more on lust-filled songs as opposed to love-filled songs.
Mm-hmm.
And Stick With You, for me, still had that love appeal, that I love in a love song.
Yes.
Now imagine me dealing with past pain. That's basically what that is. Forgetting all the memories and trying to envision yourself. Can I actually be the person free from my past
Mm-hmm.
that everyone who tries to preach to me envisions me as seeing?
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing to be preached at, but it's another thing to envision what you're being preached to, or to envision yourself the way God sees you. So you can try to deliver a person all you want. If that person doesn't see deliverance for themselves, then they're not going to get into the realm of what God thinks of them. So lyrically, I think Imagine Me is a lot stronger. But melody, they're even. I'm going to have to go toss up.
Okay. Well, I agree that the message in Imagine Me is stronger, and yet Stick With You, as you said, a simple love song, and yet what they did with that simplicity.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I don't know if that was Nicole on the lead vocal there.
Yes, it was.
Kudos for her. I can see why she was my favorite judge on
the X
Sing Off.
Factor?
On Sing Off.
Oh, on Sing Off too?
On Sing Off,
Oh, wow.
yes. She was, just her comments I thought were really,
Yeah.
well, they were all good. I love the show. But the way the vocals came in and just the harmonies, and you know, there's a lot of criticism sometimes of female harmonies. You don't have the depth that you have with males, but for them it works. It works so well.
It was perfect for me.
And then the little keyboard riff, and then the strings. I mean, the production to me on that was amazing. And again, such a wonderful pairing that you chose here. But you get the Kirk Franklin song, and it had the keyboard thing going.
Yeah.
But then it was just repetitious. It was that same thing over and over again.
Right.
I felt for too long.
Mm-hmm.
With the Pussycat Dolls, it was tasteful. With this, to me, it drug on, and maybe it was just because of the comparison.
Mm-hmm.
But with the Kirk Franklin song, I'm listening and like waiting for him to come in or waiting for a lead vocal. I just felt like it was so much just the background vocals together. I'm waiting for that big lead vocal to stand out with those harmonies around it, and it didn't happen.
Right.
And
that's typical Kirk because, I mean, since he's not a singer, he's just a writer. He tends to do a lot of background vocal harmonies and tends to focus on that, and only he'll have like a few songs on his album where there's a lead vocal that stands out.
Now, right as the example ended, we started getting in some really funky chords, some really cool, big, kind of churchy
there you go.
chords
Yeah.
there. I'm like, okay, this is starting to get interesting. But for the cuts we heard and for the production, I'm going with Pussycat Dolls.
Ooh, okay. I think you made a good choice. So you helped me out. Thank you so much. All right, that's the first point for Team Mainstream. It is 2-1. So in this final round, either they can tie it up or Team Kingdom takes home the trophy. All right, here we go. Final round. Dead Man Carry Me by Jars of Clay.
Tell me if I move, 'cause I don't feel anything at all. Oh. So carry me, I'm just a dead man lying on the carpet. Can't find a heartbeat, make me breathe. I wanna be a new man, tired of the old one, off with the old plan. From a dream about an empty funeral, but it's better than the party full of people I don't really know. Well, they've got hearts to break and burn, dirty hands to feel the earth. There's something in my veins, but I can't.
All right, that was Dead Man Carry Me by Jars of Clay against Danny California by Red Hot Chili Peppers.
That there was anything more than gold. What in the world does your company take me for? Black bandana, sweet Louisiana, robbing on a bank in the state of Indiana. She's a runner, rebel and a stunner, on the merry way saying, baby, what you gonna? Looking down the barrel of a hot metal 45, just another way to survive. California, rest in peace. Simultaneous release. California, show your teeth. She's my priestess, I'm your priest. Yeah, yeah.
Right, that was Danny California by Red Hot Chili Peppers against Dead Man Carry Me by Jars of Clay. You take the floor first, Mary?
Okay. I guess I will say I'm not a big fan of either song.
Wow, first time.
Message-wise, obviously, I would give it to Dead Man Carry Me, Jars
Okay.
of Clay.
Okay.
The idea of, we're dead in our sins, and we need somebody to carry us. We need to go. We need that life in us. And the Danny California, one of those broken love songs or something.
Yeah.
Trying to forget things. They both had kind of a lot of that repetition, and the contrast into the chorus was nice for both. I mean, you got up from the verse, it got up tempo, but the Red Hot Chili Peppers chorus. Every single line was the same. 4 lines of the same melody until he just went up a little bit on the last line of the chorus and came down.
Right.
It was super repetitious. So even though instrumentally and everything it picked it up, it just, to me, was boring.
Quick question there. Now that we're on the subject, do you think most California songs sound the same?
Hotel California, Never Rains in Southern California. That could be part of it. That could be part of it, yes.
Or maybe I should say most songs with the name of a state in them.
Well, that would take more research.
Yeah, that'll take more research. But for me, when it comes to state appearing in the name of a song, for me, New York songs are the best.
There you go, New York, New York. You got a hit with that one, absolutely. I would give it to Jars of Clay.
Jars of Clay won me with the first lyric of the second verse. I woke up from a dream about an empty funeral.
Yeah.
But it was better than a party full of people I don't really know. How many people have felt that way? I mean, just on a more serious note, my dad, when he was a kid, he was being attacked with suicidal thoughts, and he could literally hear the devil telling him when he was younger. And it's not because he didn't know the Lord, it was just that he was going through a bit of a difficult phase. And the devil actually showed my dad a vision when he was a teen or child, of him being in a casket and everyone attending the funeral. And then the devil tells him, you see, you don't think you have anyone's attention now. You'll have everyone's attention on that day.
Mm.
And that is one of the biggest hellish lies that the devil tries to deceive people with suicidal thoughts into thinking. That if they can't get everyone's attention now, they can get everyone's attention through death. Mm-hmm. But then he doesn't tell them what's on the other side of death.
Absolutely.
That's coming. So I just like how Jars of Clay put the focus that even though I feel like dying or feel like a dead man, I need someone to carry me out of this. Mm-hmm. Most times, when people commit suicide, it's because they don't have the willingness to admit they have a problem, or they just don't want to express that feeling to anybody. And when you're not talking to anybody, have no accountability, or have no one to carry you through a process, then you're all by yourself with either God's voice or Satan's voice talking to you. Mm-hmm. So, and then it's whatever choice you make, that's now in your head.
Or the fear that no one would care. Either
there
way.
You go.
And that's why that vision was so powerful for your dad.
Yeah.
So you'd get that attention. That's
exactly
what they want, is that attention, somebody to care, somebody to know, to make them feel like they matter.
Yeah. Even my mom had a situation like that when she was a teen. Mm-hmm. She got so depressed one day, she was taking a razor and was about to put it to her wrist. But this now was different. Instead of the devil showing her a vision, the Lord showed her a vision of her on the floor bleeding and her mom walking in the door. Mm-hmm. And when my mom saw that vision, it clicked to her, how can I do this to my mother that loves me so much? Mm-hmm. I could never leave her with that kind of pain. And right away, she threw the razor out. So it was just both moments with both of my parents. One, the devil was showing my dad a vision, but then God spoke to him otherwise. And the other one, the devil was coming to my mom first, and then the Lord stepped in. Mm-hmm. So it was almost the same situation, but in a different accordance, or vice versa. Mm-hmm. So anyway, that was just a bonus rabbit trail. I feel that to anyone who deals with this, who's listening, please know you are not alone. You heard it earlier in the Cut song by Plum, and again with this Dead Man song. Just know that there's someone to carry you. His name is Jesus, and he wants to let you know that you're not alone. You don't have to take your life, because that's almost slapping God in the face, saying, oh, I don't appreciate the life you've given me, so I'm going to take it into my own hands. Leave it in God's hands, because he made you. He knows how to take the best fatherly care of you. So,
good word.
That's that note. Anyway, I also agree with Jars of Clay. So Jars of Clay got the final round, which means last time you were on the show, our mainstream artists beat our Christian artists 3-1. This time, our Kingdom team beat the mainstream 3-1. Now, in closing comments, how do you feel from this list, judging from the 2007 year? How do you feel the Grammy nominees picked their songs as opposed to the Doves? Who do you think had a better ear for music in that year?
The Dove winners, I would say.
I definitely agree.
Absolutely.
Would you agree that, judging from what we heard from these nominees, that Christians are a little underrated at the Grammys?
I would say so, absolutely. You know, it's interesting too because at the Grammys, Christian music is this little pigeonhole. And yet,
big point.
Overall, Christian music is the fastest growing genre of music in the world.
Exactly.
But the reason for that is that Christian music includes all genres of music.
That's right.
As long as they have Christian lyrics to
That's
them.
right.
And that's the real difference. So on a worldwide scale, you know, and it's interesting you call it the Christian music versus the world music, but on a worldwide scale, Christian music is broader and more farther reaching than secular music.
I call it musical segregation because even when last year when Lecrae got the Grammy Award for Best Gospel Album, and he's a hip hop artist. Why didn't they put him in the same category with the hip hop artists? Because as of late, Christian hip hop has gotten a lot more accolades talent wise as opposed to secular rappers. Is this a thing where they don't want Christians to embarrass the world's music because we're sounding too good now in certain genres? Or why are they always isolating Christians? Like, if any of the other Grammy nominees are Muslim, Buddhist, Hindu, atheist, or any other belief, they don't have a separate category for them. So why do that to Christians? Why put all the Christian lyric music into one category instead of splitting them by genre? So I think that there's a bit of musical segregation there.
There definitely is. And that would be a good research topic, you know, to study things. Who was in charge of the segregation?
Right.
Secular people, the Grammys, or the Christians?
Good point. Very excellent point. But I definitely appreciate both awards. They have very good taste in music. But as far as 2007 year goes, I think the Doves took it all.
Absolutely.
So really proud of our side for doing that.
The Doves soar.
So we're thankful that you have joined us today. And I don't know when I'll ever have Mary again, but it has been such a pleasure having you. And all the best at Florida Christian Songwriters Association. Can you give our audience one more piece of information about it, just to remind them where to find you?
Well, the Florida Christian Songwriters, as I said, we call it a community. It's not a club, it's not an organization, we're family. And, we're a community of Christian artists, Christian songwriters. Our goal is to glorify God through the gifts He gave us. And I think whether you're a songwriter or an artist in another realm, graphic arts, or if you have the gift of teaching or serving, whatever your gift is, our goal in life is to be used of God to develop our gifts the best we can. God has a place for every one of us in the body of Christ. Think of it like a puzzle. You are a piece, and only you can fit in that hole. That's where you belong. Nobody else can do what God called you to do. And so our responsibility as believers is to develop our gifts and to use them for God's glory. And if your gift is songwriting, and I believe there are songwriters in every church in this country, if you're in the Central Florida area or throughout Florida and you are a Christian songwriter, whether you are writing for your band or you're sitting on the back pew of your church writing songs that no one has ever heard, no one will ever hear those songs, we welcome you. We invite you to come. This is a place where your songs can be heard and appreciated. You can get feedback and encouragement by fellowshipping with other believers who are walking that same walk and saying, what's the next right step for my song? What should I do? Am I a singer-songwriter? Am I a songwriter who needs to find other artists to sing my song? How do I go about that? That's what we have to do, because not one person has all the answers to this. We need one another, just like in the body of Christ. We need one another to progress and to impact us. And so that's why we have to do it. And Josiah has been one of our favorite members of our group and has brought so much to us. We will miss you when you travel to South Africa.
I'll see you guys as well.
Hopefully we can Skype you in from time to time, as we have done before. And that will be
Pray to
a
God I
blessing.
get some good internet connection.
Absolutely. Pray for that.
And give them website one more time.
Sure, it's www.fl, as in Florida, christiansongwriters.com.
All right. Thank you so much, guys, for chilling with us. And this has been the 2007 Grammys against the Doves. The Doves have soared, as Mary put it. 3-1. We'll see you guys next time. Peace. God bless.
January 1, I got a lot of things on my mind. I'm looking at my body through a new spy satellite. Try to lift a finger, but I don't think I can make the call. So tell me if I move, 'cause I don't feel anything at all. Oh. So carry me, I'm just a dead man lying on the carpet. Can't find a heartbeat, make me breathe. Wanna be a new man, tired of the old one, off with the old plan. I woke up from a dream about an empty funeral, but it was better than the party full of people I don't really know. Well, they've got hearts to break and burn, dirty hands to feel the earth. There's something in my veins, but I can't see